everybody. Scooney 007 here, bringing you another exciting game in the 2008 replay with Inside Pitch. In today's game, we've got the 15-7 Los Angeles Angels taking on the 13-10 Boston Red Sox. This is game 3 of a 3-game series. It's the rubber match, as both teams have won 1 game apiece. Who's going to come out on top? We're going to find out in just 9 innings. But here is the starting lineup for the Los Angeles Angels. Leading off, the third baseman, Cone Figgins. Batting second, the right fielder, Gary Matthews. Batting third, the designated hitter, Vladimir Guerrero. Batting fourth, the left fielder, Garrett Anderson. Batting fifth, the center fielder, Torrey Hunter. Batting sixth, the first baseman, Casey Kochiman. Batting seventh, the second baseman, Mercer Izutris. Batting eighth, the catcher, Mike Napoli. And batting ninth, the shortstop, Eric Abar. On the mound for the Red Sox, it is Justin Masterson, who will come into the game with a 3.27 ERA. 1 win, no loss. He pitched 11 innings, allowed 10 hits, 12 strikeouts, and 5 walks. We're here at historic Fenway Park, which gives nothing to strikeouts, a +4 to walks, and nothing to home runs. And with that, Cone Figgins, who's batting a 186, steps up into the batter's box. Home plate umpire dusts off home plate, and we are ready for the first pitch. And it is a 2-1, column 2, row 1. That's going to be a walk on a 1-19. That is a 2. It's in range, and that is going to be a walk. And with that, Figgins will trot on down to first, and let's take a look at the starting defense for the Boston Red Sox. Ramirez will be out there in left field. Crisp will be in center. Ellsbury at right field. Going around the horn, we've got Lowry on third. Valquez will be at short. Peoria on second. Yorkills at first. Cash behind the plate. And Masterson is on the mound. Gary Matthews, batting a 224. Infield is at double play depth. Strategy rolls a 9. Angels holding off. And here is the pitch. 2-2, column 2, row 2. That's going to be a walk plus. Now, on a walk plus, we add 10 to that range. It's going to be a 25. That's going to be a 5. And that is going to be good for a walk. So, runners on first and second. That's going to bring up the designated hitter, Vladimir Guerrero, batting a 338 in strategy roll 17. Angels holding off. Infield is still at double play depth, and here is the pitch. 5-6, column 5, row 6 at the ballpark. Anytime on the pitcher card, the roll resolves a at symbol. You're going to go to the ballpark card to resolve the play. So we're going to resolve this play on Fenway Park at Fenway Park. 6-3, column 6, row 3, double star 1, and that is going to be a ground ball to Peoria. He'll make the catch, and that is going to be a double play. +1 for that. Valquez is a 0. So that makes it a 5. We roll 1d6 against that 5. And if the roll is less than or equal to the ground double play rating, it becomes a double play. Figgins will advance to third. That is going to be a force out. Oh, sorry. It's a force out, and it becomes a fielder's choice. So one out, runner is on the corners, and that's going to bring up Garrett Anderson. Anderson's batting at 225. Strategy roll is a 14. Infield is playing in, and here is the pitch. 3-6, column 3, row 6. That is a blank. Anderson is a left-handed batter. So in the picture card, we look to the left-handed side of the slash. That is a blank. 3-3, column 3, row 3. That's going to be good for a base hit out there in the center field. And with that, the Angels will get on the board. Guerrero, base run rating is a 4. We're going to check for runner advancement. That is a 4. And if the roll is less than or equal to the adjusted base run rating, he will advance. Guerrero does. So still one out and still runners on the corners. And that is going to bring up Torrey Hunter. Hunter batting at 288. Strategy roll is an 8. Infield still in. And the pitch 4-4. Column 4, row 4. Possible error on a ground ball. So on an error question mark, that means we're going to check the number in the bracket. And that is going to be a 2-5, column 2, row 5. It's hit down the third baseline. It's a single past Laurie. And that is a 4. No error check is made on infield single. Batter beats the throw out and is safe at first. So 2, another run is scored. So it's an RBI single by Torrey Hunter. And it's 2-0 Angels. Anderson holds at second. Strategy roll is a 20. Now, anytime you roll a 20 on the strategy die, it is a pickoff attempt. On a 1-3, it's a pickoff. On a 4-6, it's a pickoff error. It's a 7. Nothing happens. 1-2, column 1, row 2, double question mark. That is a blank. 5-3, column 5, row 3, ground ball to Peoria. He'll make the catch there. And with that, it is going to be a double play. So with that, Anderson will advance to third. And that is going to be a double play. So 2 runs, 2 hits, and no errors. And 1 left on for the Angels. We go to the bottom of the first. And here is the starting lineup for the Boston Red Sox. Leading off, the right fielder, Jacoby Ellsbury. Batting second, the second baseman, Dustin Peoria. Batting third, the designated hitter, David Ortiz. Batting fourth in the cleanup position, the left fielder, Manny Ramirez. Batting fifth, the first baseman, Kevin Yorkills. Batting sixth, the third baseman, Jed Laurie. Batting seventh, the shortstop, Gil Valquez. Batting eighth, the center fielder, Coco Crisp. And batting ninth, the catcher, Kevin Cash. On the mound for the Angels, it is Joe Saunders who'll come into today's game with a 6.08 ERA. 1 win and 1 loss. He's pitched 23 2/3 of an inning, allowed 31 hits, 8 strikeouts, and 5 walks. Ellsbury batting a 253, steps up, and here is the pitch. 6-5, column 6, Row 5, that is going to be a walk. On a 1 to 10, that is a 7. And that is going to be a walk. And let's take a look now at the starting defense for the Los Angeles Angels. Anderson will be out there in left field. Hunter will be in right. Hunter will be in center. Matthews at right field. Going around the horn, we've got Figgins on third. Ayabar at short. Izuchis will be playing second. Coachman at first. Napoli behind the plate. And Saunders will be on the mound. Strategy rolls a 1. It is a steal attempt. That's going to be a 1. That's going to be a +2. It's going to be an 18 or less on the stolen base rating. And that is a 4. And Ellsbury has successfully stolen second. So that's another steal for Ellsbury. Peoria batting a .292, infield at normal depth. And here is the pitch. 4-6, column 4. Row 6, possible error on a ground ball. 3-6, column 3. Row 6, power hit to Hunter. So, we take a look here at the power hit line. On a 1 to 5, it's a single. On a 6 to 11, it becomes a double. And on a 12 to 15, it's a triple. Anything higher than that, it's a fly out. It is a 6. That is going to be a double. Error range for Hunter is a 0, 13 too high. No error on the play. And the Red Sox come back and cut the lead down to 1 on an RBI double by Dustin Peoria. Next up, it's going to be David Ortiz, who's batting a .273. Strategy roll is a 19. Boston holding off. Infield's at normal depth, and here is the pitch. 3-2, column 3, row 2. Possible error on a throw. 2-1, column 2, row 1. It's a fly ball out there to Matthews. His error range is a 6. That is a 9, no error there. He'll make the catch. And Peoria will hold at first. We subtract 1 from the base run rating. Roll 1d6 against that. That is a 6. So it has to be less than or equal to the base run rating in order for Peoria to advance to third. He'll hold. And that is going to bring up Manny Ramirez. Ramirez batting a .301. Strategy roll is a 12, and here is the pitch. 5-5, column 5, row 5. That is a blank. 1-4, column 1, row 4. It is a single out there into left field. And with that, Peoria will go to third. Stop sign goes up. He would advance from second to home on the roll is less than or equal to. That is a 5. Base run rating is a 4. He'll hold. And that is going to bring up Kevin Yorkills. Yorkills batting a .313. Strategy roll is an 8. And here is the pitch. 1-1, column 1, row 1. That is a strike. On a 1 to 11, that is a 2. Struck him out. And that is going to bring up Jed Laurie. Laurie batting a .222. Strategy roll is a 20. On a 1 to 4, it's a pickoff. It's a 14. Nothing happens. Infield still at normal depth. 2-2, column 2, row 2. That is a walk. On a 1 to 17, that is a 16, and that'll load the bases. So the bases are loaded with 2 outs, and with 2 outs, we add a +1 to the base run rating. Gil Valquez batting a 143. Strategy roll is an 8, and here is the pitch. 3-1, column 3, row 1, double question mark. So on a double starts on a 1 to 9, that is a 3 in range. And now in the actual game on the double star off the pitcher card, you're going to roll 1d6 against that number to determine what the auto out is. In the PC game, it'll randomly do it. And in this case, it's a fly out to Anderson. He'll make the catch, and that will retire the side. So 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and the Red Sox leave them loaded. After 1, it's Angels 2, Red Sox 1. We go to the top of the second. Mercer Zoutris, Mike Napoli, and Eric Abar do up for the Angels. Mercer Zoutris steps up now. He's batting a 230, and here is the pitch. 4-1, column 4, row 1. That is a strikeout on a 1 to 5. The 7 is too high. 2-5, column 2, row 5, double star 6. That's a fly ball back there to Ellsbury. He'll make the catch, and that'll put 1 away. Mike Napoli batting a 341. The pitch. That'll be a 2-6, column 2, row 6. Strikeout plus. Remember, on a strikeout plus, it is the same as a walk plus, but we add 10 to that range. That is a 26. That is a 20. Struck him out. So 2 up, 2 down, and that is going to bring up Eric Abar. Abar batting a 293, and here is the pitch. 4-4, column 4, row 4. Possible error on a ground ball. And that is going to be a 5-5, column 5, row 5. Power hit to Coco Crisp. On a 1 to 9, it is a single. On a 10 to 15, it is a double. 16 and higher, it is a fly out. That is a 2. That is going to be good for a single. No error there. Crisp error range is on a 1 to 2. And that is a 19, so no error there. And Abar will get on with a base hit. So we go to the order will flip over. We go to the top of the order. Cone Figgins with a walk and a run scored. Strategy roll is a 2 for Abar. That is going to be a steal attempt. 16, that's going to make it 17. And that is a 15. And he will successfully steal second base. So runner with Abar now in scoring position. Here is the pitch to Cone Figgins. 4-4, column 4, row 4. Possible error on a ground ball. 5-3, column 5, row 3. It's a single to Laurie. Error range is on a 1 to 5. No error check there. Batter beats the out throw and is safe. So with 2 outs and runners on the corners, Abar will get the hold sign. That's going to bring up Gary Matthews. Matthews with a walk his last time up. Strategy roll is a 4. 4-4, column 4, row 4. Possible error on a ground ball. 3-6, column 3, row 6. Line drive to Peoria. He'll make the catch. And that will retire the side. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors, and the Angels will leave 2 stranded. We go to the bottom of the second. Coco Crisp, Kevin Cash, and Jacoby Ellsbury due up for the Red Sox. Coco Crisp batting a .227. The pitch, 2-3, column 2, row 3, home run on a 1-10. The 13 is too high. 5-4, column 5, row 4. However, that is going to be a base hit past the shortstop. As Coco Crisp will hit it in the hole there, and he'll get on first. That's going to be a 17 for the steal attempt for Coco Crisp. They are going to send him. That's going to be a 13. Crisp will steal second. And with that, they now have a runner in scoring position. Here is the pitch to Kevin Cash, who is batting a .333. 1-4, column 1, row 4. That is a strikeout on a 1-20. That is a 17. Struck him out. And 1 away once again. That is going to be another steal attempt. 15, 16, 17 or less. This time it's a 3, and Crisp has stolen third. So with the tying run 90 feet away, Jacoby Ellsbury walked and a run scored his last time up, and the pitch. And that is going to be a 6-3, column 6, row 3. That is a blank. Ellsbury. 4-3, column 4, row 3, double star 2. That's a fly ball to Matthews. He'll make the catch. And that is going to be a failed sacrifice roll chance. Now it's a failed roll, so now we'll check the throw. That is a 6. And the lead runner is thrown out. So Crisp goes to home. Heads for home. Matthews right behind. Throws it to Napoli. He'll make the catch, and he's thrown out at the plate. Crisp slides, however, Napoli gets it, tags behind him, and that will retire the side. They got him out at home. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and none left on after 2. It's Angels 2, Red Sox 1. We go to the top of the third. Vladimir Guerrero, Garrett Anderson, and Torrey Hunter due up for the Angels. Vladimir Guerrero 0-for-1 with a run scored, and here is the pitch. 2-1, column 2, row 1. That is going to be a walk on a 1-13. The 18 is too high. 2-3, column 2, row 3. Fly ball back there to Ellsbury. He'll make the catch. And that'll put 1 away. Garrett Anderson 1-for-1 with an RBI, and here is the pitch. Anderson 5-6, column 5, row 6. That is at the ballpark. We're going to go to Fenway Park. 3-1, column 3, row 1, and that is going to be a ground ball down the first baseline. New York Hills, he'll make the catch. And that'll put 2 away. 2 up, 2 down. Torrey Hunter 1-for-1 with a run scored, and here is the pitch. 1-4, column 1, row 4. Strikeout plus on a 1-20. That is a 12. Struck him out. So no runs, no hits, no errors as the Red Sox retire the Angels in order 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the third. Dustin Peoria, David Ortiz, and Manny Ramirez due up for the Red Sox. Dustin Peoria 1-for-1 with a double and an RBI. And here is the pitch. 5-1, column 5, row 1, double star. That is going to be a fly ball back there to Anderson. He'll make the catch. And that'll put one away. And that is going to bring up Big Poppy. 0-for-1, and here is the pitch. 2-3, column 2, row 3. Strikeout on a 1-8. That is a 5. Struck him out. And that'll put 2 away. 2 up, 2 down. Manny Ramirez up now. He's 1-for-1, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 6-3, column 6, row 3. That is a blank. Ramirez. 2-2, column 2, row 2. That's going to be a base hit down the third baseline, past Figgins. So Ramirez will keep the inning alive. Strategy roll is a 7. Kevin Yorkills. Red Sox holding off. Yorkills 0-for-1. Struck out his last time up. And here is the pitch. 3-6, column 3, row 6. Range play at the ballpark. So on a range play, we're going to check the first number of the defense, 4-4. Column 4, row 4. It's a ground ball to Azuchis. His range is on a 1-3. That is a 3. Azuchis will make the catch and retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on for the Red Sox. After 3, it's Angels 2, Red Sox 1. We go to the top of the 4th. Casey Coachman, Mercer Zutris, and Mike Napoli due up for the Angels. Casey Coachman 0-for-1, and here is the pitch. 4-1, column 4, row 1. Strikeout on a 1-4. That is a 4. Struck him out. Mercer Zutris 0-for-1, and the pitch. 2-2, column 2, row 2, walk plus. On a 1-25, that is a 12. That is in range, and that is going to be good for a walk. And with that, Masterson has his pull rating has gone to 0, so he can still face 5 more batters before he's considered tired. They are going to keep him out there. However, the bullpen for the Red Sox is warming up. That is going to be a steal attempt. That's going to be an 18. That is a 7, and he'll steal second. So runner on second in scoring position, Mike Napoli. 0-for-1 with a strikeout, 1 out, and here is the pitch. Infield normal depth. 4-4, column 4, row 4, possible error on a ground ball. 1-2, column 1, row 2. It's a pop-up. Peoria underneath it sees it. Makes the catch and puts 2 away. Eric Abar 1-for-1. And here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 6-2, column 6, row 2, wild pitch on a 1-5. It's a wild pitch. On a 6, it's a passed ball. 7-20, nothing happens. It's a 20, nothing happens. 3-6, column 3, row 6. Pop up. Laurie this time underneath it. Makes the catch. And retires the side. No runs, no hits, and no errors. And 1 left on. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Jed Laurie, Gil Valcrez, and Coco Crisp due up for the Red Sox. Jed Laurie walked his last time up, and here is the pitch. 3-5, column 3, row 5. That is a blank. 4-2, column 4, row 2, ground ball to A-bar. He'll make the catch, and that'll put one away. Galvacrez 0 for 1, and the pitch. 1-6, column 1, row 6. At the ballpark, we're going to go to Fenway Park. 5-5, column 5, row 5, fly ball back there. Anderson runs back, goes back to the track, bounces off the green monster to make the catch, and that'll put two away. Coco Crisp 1 for 1, and here is the pitch. 3-6, column 3, row 6. Range play at the ballpark. We're going to go to Fenway Park. 5-6, column 5, row 6. Double star 6. Fly ball back there to Anderson. His range is on a 1-3. That is a 1. He'll make the catch. So no runs, no hits, no errors as the Angels retire the Red Sox in order. 3 up, 3 down. After 4, it's Angels 2, Red Sox 1. We go to the top of the 5th. Cone Figgins, Gary Matthews, and Vladimir Guerrero due up for the Angels. Top of the order, Cone Figgins 1 for 1 with a run scored, with a walk and a run scored. Masterson can face 3 more batters before he's considered tired. And the bullpen for the Red Sox is starting to warm up. And that is going to be a 4-6. Column 4, row 6. Double star. Fly ball back there to Ellsbury. He'll make the catch. And that'll put 1 away. Gary Matthews 0 for 1 with a walk. And here is the pitch. 2-4, column 2, row 4. He's a switch hitter, so he's batting left. That is going to be good for a walk. On a 1-15, that is a 6. And that'll be good for a walk. So Matthews will trot on down to first. Strategy roll is a 15. Vladimir Guerrero is 0 for 2 with a run scored. Justin Masterson can face 1 more batter. And that is going to be a 6-5, column 6, row 5. Strikeout on a 1-8. That is a 1. Struck him out. Struck him out, and with 2 outs, that's going to be a steal attempt. They are going to send him. It's a 16 or higher. That's a 13. He'll steal second. And they are going to let him stay out there. He needs 1 more out. Garrett Anderson, 1 for 2 with an RBI, and here is the pitch. However, if the roll does come up 1-2, 4-2, or 6-1, he would be pulled. And that is going to be a 2-3. Column 2, row 3, that is a blank. 3-4, column 3, row 4, double star 5, fly ball back there to Crisp. Sees it, eyes it up, waves off Ramirez, who comes over, and that will retire the side. So no runs, no hits, and no errors, and 1 left on for the Angels. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Kevin Cash, Jacoby Ellsbury, and Dustin Peoria due up for the Red Sox. Kevin Cash 0 for 1 with a strikeout, and here is the pitch. 4-3, column 4, row 3, home run chance on a 1-18. That is in range, however. Cash's home run range is a 0. And that is going to be a 6-5, column 6, row 5. Instead, that is going to be a single past the shortstop. And with that, Kevin Cash will get on with it, leads off with a base hit. Infield double play depth. We go to the top of the order. Jacoby Ellsbury, 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. Strategy roll is a 12. The infield is at double play depth. And here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 4-1. Column 4, row 1. Strikeout. On a 1-7, the 10 is too high. And that is going to be a 5-2, column 5, row 2. Fly ball back there to Matthews. He'll make the catch. And that'll put one away. Dustin Peoria, 1 for 2 with a double and an RBI. Strategy roll is a 7. Infield at double play depth. 1 out and a runner on first. Strategy roll 7, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 2-5, column 2, row 5. Possible error. Real quick, Anderson is 1 for 1 on his range plays, and Izutris is 10 for 12. And that is going to be a 5-3, column 5, row 3. Double star 4. That's a ground ball to Figgins. Error range for Figgins is on a 1-4. That is a 17. There is no error. He'll make the catch. And we're going to check for a double play rating. That is a 1-4-0. The pivot is second base. That is a double play. That is a 3. That is a 5. Remember, if the roll is less than or equal to the ground double play rating, it becomes a double play. And with that, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and none left, and 1 left on. We go to the after 5, Angels 2, Red Sox 1. We go to the top of the 6th. Torrey Hunter, Casey Coachman, and Mercer Izutris do up for the Red Sox, for the Angels. And we do have a new pitcher on the mound. Justin Masterson is done. And they're going to bring in David. Here, and this is his card. So David will come into the game with a 1.29 ERA. He's got 1 win and no loss. He's pitched 7 innings, allowed 7 hits, 9 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Take a look at the stats here for Justin Masterson. He went 5 innings, allowed 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and ERA of a 3.38. So with that, Torrey Hunter, 1 for 2 with a strikeout and an RBI, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 2-1, column 2, row 1, strikeout plus on a 1-20. That is a 2. Struck him out. So that'll put 1 away. And that is going to bring up Casey Coachman. Coachman is 0 for 2 with a strikeout, and here is the pitch. 4-2, column 4, row 2, range play at the ballpark. And that is going to be a 4-6, column 4, row 6, pop up to Peoria. His range is on a 1-4. That is a 6. He can't make the play in time. And with that, Coachman will get on. He misjudged. Peoria is 6 for 9 on his range play. Strategy roll is a 10. Mercury Zutris is 0 for 1 with a walk, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 2-6. Column 2, row 6. That's going to be good for a base hit. Is Zutris switch hitter? He's batting left. And that'll be good for a base hit. Coachman will go to second. Stop sign will go up. He'll go from first to third on a base run rating of a 4 through 6. And that is a 2. He'll hold. Mike Napoli up. Napoli is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Runners on first and second. Infield at double play depth with 1 out. And here is the pitch. Strategy roll 3. And that is going to be a 1-6. Column 1, row 6. Hit by pitch. That's a 20. That is a 19. And that'll load the bases. David will add 10 to the hit by pitch range. He'll load the bases up. They're going to call for a conference on the mound. So they're going to call for a quick timeout as Eric Abel will step up. He's 1 for 2 today. They're going to talk a little strategy, find out, calm David down, see what's going on. Umpire calls him back. Abar, 1 for 2. Strategy roll 15, and here is the pitch. We'll see if that talk helped. 2-2, column 2, row 2. That is a blank. And that is going to be a 4-3, column 4, row 3. And that is going to be a fly ball to Ramirez. He'll make the catch. There we go. Out number 2. That talk did help. And with that, Coachman will hold at first. That is a 4 on the sacrifice roll. Nothing to do there. The bases will still remain loaded. So David tired. We go to the top of the order. Cone Fagans 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Strategy roll 3. Angels holding off, and here is the pitch. 5-4, column 5, row 4. Home run chance. That is a 0. Nothing due. 4-3, column 4, row 3. That's going to be good for a base hit past Peoria. 1 run will score. Zutris on third. He'll go from second to home on a 2 through 6. That is a 5. He'll score. Napoli will go from second to third. From first to third on a 3 through 6. That is a 3. And that'll put runners on the corners. And that 2 runs scored. It's a 2-run single by Cone Figgins. It's 4-1 Angels. So 4-1 is the score with runners on the corners. David tired, however, they are going to leave him in. They just need 1 more out. Bullpen still starting to warm up again. Gary Matthews is up. He's 1 for 2 with a run scored. With a walk, sorry. Strategy roll 6. Angels holding off, and here is the pitch. 1-6, column 1, row 6, hit by pitch. That's a 16. That is a 16, and that's going to load the bases once again. And with that, here comes the skipper, and they've seen enough of David. So they're going to make the call to the bullpen. And this time they're going to bring in Mike Timlin. Timlin is going to get the call up. That is his card. Timlin comes into the game with a 4.50 ERA. No wins and 1 loss. He does have 1 save. He has allowed he's pitched 6 innings, only had 4 hits, 5 strikeouts, and 1 walk. Take a look at the stats here for David. He went 2/3 of an inning, allowed 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 1 strikeout, 2 hit by pitches, an ERA of a 3.51. However, he is responsible for the runners up for the loaded bases. Vladimir Guerrero 0 for 3 with a strikeout and a run. Strategy roll 9. Angels holding off, and here is the pitch. 2-5, column 2, row 5. Range play at the ballpark. We're going to go to Fenway Park. And that is going to be a 5-3. Column 5, row 3. It's a double to Ellsbury. Ellsbury's range is on a 1-5. However, that is a 3. Ellsbury makes the leaping catch and will fall into the bullpen. And that will retire the side. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and the Angels leave them loaded. We go to the bottom of the 6th. David Ortiz, Manny Ramirez, and Kevin Yorkil's due up for the Red Sox. David Ortiz 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And with that, Joe Saunders can face 6 more batters before he's considered tired. And here is the pitch to Big Papi. 6-6, column 6, row 6. Strikeout on a 1-8. The 10 is too high. 1-2, column 1, row 2. That's going to be a ground ball to Zutris. He'll make the catch. So on the batter card, we'll take a look. It's the same thing as resolving the play on a split off of the pitcher card. In this case, we'll look to see if the pitcher is left or right-handed. In this case, Joe Saunders is a left-handed pitcher. So we'll look to the left-handed side of the slash on the batter card. And that is out number 1. Manny Ramirez is 2 for 2, and here is the pitch. 6-2, column 6, row 2, at the ballpark. We're going to go to Fenway Park. 4-1, column 4, row 1. Ground ball down the third baseline to Figgins. He'll make the catch. And that'll put 2 away. Kevin Yorkill is 0 for 2 with a strikeout, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 5-4, column 5, row 4, strikeout on a 1-11. The 13 is too high. 2-1, column 2, row 1. That is a double into center field. And Yorkills is on with a double, keeps the inning alive. All right, he'll keep the frame alive, and that's going to bring up Jed Laurie. Laurie is 0 for 1 with a walk. Strategy roll is a 15, and here is the pitch. 4-2, column 4, row 2, hit by pitch. Joe gives a -2. That is a 0. The 17 is too high. 4-4, column 4, row 4, fly ball back there to Anderson. He'll make the catch, and that will retire the side. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. After 6, it's Angels 4, Red Sox 1. We go to the top of the 7th. Garrett Anderson, Torrey Hunter, and Casey Coachman due up for the Angels. Garrett Anderson is 1 for 3 with an RBI, and here is the pitch. 2-1, column 2, row 1. Timlin going to stay out there at the ballpark. We're going to go to Fenway Park. 3-3, column 3, row 3. That is an S+9. It's a single to Ellsbury. And with that, it is, we'll check to see if it's a double. That is a 1. That is a 2. And if the roll is greater than the base run rating, it is a single. Anderson will hold. So he gets on with a single. And that is going to bring up Torrey Hunter. Hunter is 1 for 3, 2 strikeouts, and an RBI. Strategy roll 17, and here is the pitch. 1-6, column 1, row 6, hit by pitch. That is a 2. That is a 6. Timlin will give a -5. Strategy roll was a 17, so nothing happening there. Infield, by the way, is at double play depth. 6-3, column 6, row 3. Fly ball back to Ramirez. He'll make the catch. And that will put one away. Casey Coachman, 1 for 3 today with a strikeout and a run scored. Strategy roll 18, and here is the pitch. 2-2, column 2, row 2. That is a blank. Infield still at double play depth. 3-5, column 3, row 5. Power hit to Ramirez. On a 1-5, it's a single. 6-12, it's a double. 13, it's a triple. 14 or higher, it's a flyout. It's an 11. That's going to be good for a double. So that is a double. Anderson will go to third. He'll hold. Base run rating becomes a 0. That is a 3. And if the roll is less than or equal to the ABR, the adjusted base run rating, the runner will advance. Otherwise, they hold. So runners on second and third, and that's going to bring up Mercer Zutris, who is 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Strategy roll is a 12. Timlin can face one more batter before he's considered tired. 1-4, column 1, row 4. That's a strikeout on a 1-5. The 19 is too high. 2-5, column 2, row 5, double star 6. That's going to be a fly ball back to Ramirez. Ramirez will make the catch. And that will put 2 away. Sacrifice fly check. That is a 1. The 3 is too high. That is a 5. And that will hold Anderson. So runners will remain on second and third with 2 outs. Timlin tired. So if we roll a 3-2, a 5-4, or a 6-4, he will get pulled immediately on those because now his tired range comes in, his tired stats come into play. So now if we roll the question mark, he will get pulled. Otherwise, if we roll the question mark on a note when he's not tired, he will stay in. That boy is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. 5-5, column 5, row 5. Possible error on a throw. Strategy roll is a 2, by the way. Angels holding off. 3-2, column 3, row 2. It's a ground ball to Valquez. He'll make the catch. That will retire the side. And sing, take me out to the ball game. Also, the error range on that one, Valquez is a 0. That is a 4. And now we can sing, take me out to the ball game. So no runs, 2 hits, and no errors, and 2 left on for the Angels. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Gil Valquez, Coco Crisp, and Kevin Cash due up for the Bo Sox. Let's take a look at the box score after 6.5 have been played here at historic Fenway Park. The Angels scored 2 in the first, 2 in the 6th, 4 runs on 9 hits and 1 error. The Red Sox scored the only run in the first inning. They've been shut out since then. 1 run on 6 hits and no errors. So with that, Saunders can face 2 more batters before he's considered tired. So they're sending him back out there on the mound. Gil Valquez is 0 for 2. And here is the pitch. 5-1, column 5, row 1. double star. Fly ball back there to Matthews. He'll make the catch. And that'll put one away. Coco Crisp, 1 for 2, and here is the pitch. 6-6, column 6, row 6. Strikeout on a 1-13. That is a 6. Struck him out. So that'll be 2 away, and that's going to bring up Kevin Cash. Cash is 1 for 2 with a strikeout. Saunders tired. 4-4, column 4, row 4. That is a blank. 1-2, column 1, row 2. That is a power hit to Anderson. On a 1-2, it's a single. 3-11, it's a double. 12 or higher, fly out. It's a 20. Anderson runs back into the Green Monster, makes the catch. And that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, and no errors, and none left on. It's a 3-up, 3-down inning as the Angels retire the Red Sox in order. 1, 2, 3, have a seat. After 7, Angels 4, Red Sox 1, we go to the top of the 8th. Eric Abar, Cone Figgins, and Gary Matthews due up for the Angels. Mike Timlin done. We do have a new pitcher on the mound for the Red Sox. And that is going to be Xavier Lopez. Lopez going to come into the game. Actually, they're going to bring in Jonathan Pebbleton. Pebbleton's going to come in. That is his card. Top of the 8th. Buck Craig. Actually, Craig Henson. Sorry, Craig Henson going to come in. They haven't decided yet. They want the right-hander to come in. That is his card. So the right-hander will come in. Eric Abar, 1 for 3, and here is the pitch. Craig Henson. Let's take a look at his stats. He comes into the game with a 4.14 ERA. He's pitched 1 inning. He's pitched 8 2/3 innings, allowed 8 hits, 5 strikeouts, and 3 walks. Taking a look at the stats here for Mike Timlin, he went 1 1/3 innings, allowed 2 hits, an ERA of a 3.70. Red Sox having to go deep into the bullpen in this game. Abar, 1 for 3, and here is the pitch. No changes to their defense, by the way. 1-3, column 1, row 3. That is going to be a walk. On a 1-8, the 13 is too high. 4-6, column 4, row 6. Ground ball to the shortstop. Valquez will make the catch, throw it over to Yorkills for the out. And that'll be out number 1. And we go to the top of the order. Cone Figgins, 2 for 3 with a walk, a run, and 2 RBIs. And here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 4-2, column 4, row 2. That is a walk. On a 1-19, that is a 2, and that's going to be good for a walk. So Figgins will trot on down to first, and that's going to bring up Gary Matthews, who is 0 for 1 with 2 walks, and here is the pitch. 1-1, column 1, row 1. That is a walk. On a 1-15, that is a 5. That's going to be good for a walk. It's the second walk is allowed, and that puts runners on first and second. Vladimir Guerrero, 0 for 4. A strikeout and a run. Guerrero going to take the hit. And that is going to be a 3-5. Column 3, row 5, double star. Ground ball to Yorkills. He'll make the catch. And with that, Figgins will go to third. We're going to check for double play rating. That is a 3. That is a 3. 0 minus 1. So we take 1d6, roll it against the ground, double play rating. That is a 3. Double play to retire the side. So no runs, no hits, and no errors, and one left on for the Angels. Go to the bottom of the eighth. Jacoby Ellsbury, Dustin Peoria, and David Ortiz due up for the Red Sox. And with that, we do have a new pitcher on the mound for the Angels. And with that, they are going to bring in Darren Oliver. Oliver going to come in. So Oliver will come into the game with a 5.17. He's pitched 8 2/3 innings, allowed 10 hits, 5 strikeouts, and 1 walk. No wins, and no losses. Take a look at the stats here for Joe Saunders. He won 7 innings, allowed 6 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, 2 strikeouts, and 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and ERA of a 4.99. So no change as well to the Angels defense. Top of the order, Jacoby Ellsbury is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 6-5, column 6, row 5. That is a walk. On a 1 to 10, that is a 3, and that is going to be good for a walk. So Ellsbury will trot on down to first. Strategy rolls are turned off, and how do we know they're turned off? Well, to determine if strategy rolls are turned off, you take the difference in the score. So in this case, it's a 3-run game. Take that difference, 3, add it to the inning we're in. We're in the 8th inning. So 8 plus 3 is 11. If the number you get is higher than 10, strategy rolls are turned off until that number is brought down under 10. Dustin Peoria is 1 for 3 with a double and an RBI. Infield, by the way, is at double play depth, 2-1. Column 2, row 1, that is going to be a wild pitch. On a 1 to 16, it's a wild pitch. 17 to 19, it's a passed ball. It's a 19, it's a passed ball. And it got by him. So with that, it is an error on Napoli. So with that, it's a pass ball past Napoli. Ellsbury will go to second. And with that, Peoria's roll, and that is going to be a 5-1, column 5, row 1. Fly ball back there to Hunter. He'll make the catch. 1 away, and Ellsbury will go to third. So on an F8, we subtract 2 from the base run rating. We add 1, roll a D6 against the base run rating. If the roll is less than or equal to the adjusted base run rating, Jacoby, the runner, advances to third. In this case, Ellsbury will go to third. So with that, a runner 90 feet away, and that's going to bring up Big Papi, David Ortiz, who is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. And they're going to let him take the hit. Ortiz 5-1, column 5, row 1, possible error on a throw. 4-3, column 4, row 3. That's a fly ball out there to center field to Hunter. He'll make the catch. Error range is a 0. That is going to be a 4. No error there. And that is an out. However, that is going to be good for a sac fly. That is a 4. That is a 3. So failed over here. The backup chance on that does score a run. So the Red Sox cut the lead down to 2. It's 4-2 Angels. Manny Ramirez 2 for 3, and here is the pitch. Ramirez 3-4, column 3, row 4, that is a blank. 5-3, column 5, row 3, double star 5, fly ball back there to Anderson. Anderson goes back, makes the catch, and that will retire the side. So one run, no hits and no errors, and none left on for the Red Sox. Go to after 8, it's Angels 4, Red Sox 2. We go to the top of the 9th. Garrett Anderson, Torrey Hunter, and Casey Coachman do up for the Angels. But will we see some 9th inning magic? Let's take a look at the box score of the game real quick after 8 innings had been played here at Fenway Park. Angels came out, scored 2 runs in the first and 2 runs in the 6th. 4 runs and 9 hits and no errors. The Red Sox scored a run in the first, a run in the 8th. 2 runs on 6 hits and no errors. They're down by 2. We do have a new pitcher on the mound for the Red Sox. And that is going to be Xavier Lopez. Lopez going to come out on the mound, and that is his card. Lopez comes in the game with a 3.25 ERA. He's got no wins and 1 loss. He's pitched 8 and 1/3 of an inning. Allowed 7 hits, 5 strikeouts, and 8 walks. Take a look at the stats here for Craig Henson. He went 1 inning, allowed 2 walks. An ERA of a 3.71. Garrett Anderson, he's going to face off against 4, 5, and 6, the heart of the lineup for the Angels. And here is the pitch to Garrett Anderson. 2 for 4 with an RBI. And that is going to be a 5-4, column 5, row 4, at the ballpark. We're going to go to Fenway Park. 2-5, column 2, row 5, double star 2. That's going to be a ground ball to Laurie. Laurie will make the catch, and that'll put 1 away. Torrey Hunter, 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts and an RBI. And here is the pitch. 6-3, column 6, row 3, wild pitch. It's going to be a foul ball. We're going to re-roll the dice. 5-1, column 5, row 1. That's going to be a walk. On a 1-15, that is a 12, and that's going to be good for a walk. So, Hunter on first. That's going to bring up Casey Coachman, 2 for 4 today with a double, a strikeout, and a run. And here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 5-2, column 5, row 2. Strikeout plus on a 1-13. That is a 13. Struck him out. And that'll put 2 away, and that's going to bring up Mercer Izutris. Izutris 2 for 3 with a walk and a run scored, and here is the pitch. 3-3, column 3, row 3. Possible error on a throw. 1-5, column 1, row 5. Ground ball up the middle to Lopez. His error range is on a 1-20. That's going to be a 2. That's going to be an error. That's a 1-base error as Lopez boots the ball. Hunter goes to second. The hold sign will go up. And that is an E1. Mike Napoli 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Napoli going to take the hit. 1-2, column 1, row 2. That's going to be a walk On a 1 to 23, that is a 3, and that'll load the bases. And with that, they're pulling Lopez. They're going to go back to the bullpen, and this time they're going to bring in Hideki Okijima. He's going to come in. That is his card. And with that, Eric Hideki batting a 2, comes into the game with a 2.47 ERA, 1 win and no loss. He's pitched 7 1/3 innings. Allowed 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, and 3 walks. Take a look at the stats here for Xavier Lopez. He went 2/3 of an inning, allowed 2 walks and 1 strikeout, an ERA of a 3.0. Bases are loaded. 1-3, column 1, row 3, double star, fly ball back there to Ramirez. They got the out they needed, and that will retire the side. So no runs, no hits, 1 error, and the Angels will leave them loaded. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Kevin Yorkills, Jed Laurie, Gil Valcrez due up. Red Sox down by 2. They need 2 to tie, 3 to win. And with that, Darren Oliver done. And they're going to bring in Francisco Rodriguez. Trying to get the save here. Rodriguez comes in the game with a 2.0. 1 win, no loss. He's got 7 saves. 9 innings pitched, allowed 5 hits, 8 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Take a look at the stats here for Darren Oliver. He went 1 inning, allowed 1 run, no earned runs, 1 walk, an ERA of a 4.64. 5, 6, and 7 due up in the lineup for the Red Sox. Same thing, heart of the order, and here is the pitch. 2-6, column 2, row 6, possible error. Kevin Yorkills, by the way, is 1 for 3 with a double and a strikeout. 6-1, column 6, row 1, ground ball up to A-bar. His error range is on a 1 to 11. That is a 12, no error there, and that is out number 1. Jed Laurie is 0 for 2. Laurie not going to take the hit. And they're going to bring in Sean Casey. Sean Casey will come into the game with a 3, batting a 326, and here is the pitch. Casey, 6'4", column 6, row 4. That's going to be a walk on a 1 to 11. That is an 11, and that's going to be good for a walk. Gil Valcrez, the tying run now comes to the plate. Casey, they're going to call back for a pinch runner now. And they're going to bring in J.D. Drew. Drew is going to pinch run, so Drew will take over at first. Gil Valcrez, 0 for 3. Valcrez is going to take the hit, and here is the pitch. 6-2, column 6, row 2. That's going to be a walk. On a 1 to 4, the 13 is too high. 2-3, column 2, row 3, double star 4. Fly ball back there to Anderson. He'll make the catch, and that'll put 2 away. So 2 outs, and Coco Crisp is up. All comes down to this. Crisp, 1 for 3 with a strikeout. The pitch. 3-3, column 3, row 3. Strikeout plus. Crisp is a switch hitter. He's batting left. Strikeout plus on a 1 to 18. That is a 7. Struck him out. And that's the ball game, folks. So the no no runs, no hits, and no errors, and one left on for the Red Sox. And the ball game is over as the Los Angeles Angels defeat the Boston Red Sox 4-2. Final line score coming right up. So the Los Angeles Angels defeat the Boston Red Sox 4-2. Angels 4 runs on 9 hits and no errors. The Red Sox 2 runs, 6 hits and 1 error. Joe Saunders will pick up his second win. Justin Masterson picks up his first loss. And Francisco Rodriguez will pick up his 8th save. Take a look at the stats here for Joe Saunders. He went 7 innings, allowed 6 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. An ERA of a 4.99. Justin Masterson, who will pick up the loss, he went 5 innings, allowed 4 runs, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, an ERA of a 3.88. Hideki Okijima, the last pitcher up for the Red Sox, he went 1/3 of an inning, allowed as an ERA of a 2.34. And Xavier Lopez, who went 2/3 of an inning, allowed 2 walks and 1 strikeout, an ERA of a 3.0. Francisco Rodriguez will pick up his 8th save. He went 1 inning, allowed 1 walk, 1 strikeout, an ERA of a 1.80. So that is going to do it for us here at Fenway Park, as the Angels will improve to 16-7, and the Red Sox will drop to 13-11. The Angels taking 2 here at Fenway. That's going to do it for us. So if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and a thumbs up on your way through the turnstiles here at Fenway Park. And until next, and if you enjoyed the video, please give it a please click and please remember to click that bell notification to be notified of when new videos in the 2008 replay go up and when I go live with all of the Philadelphia Phillies games. Until then, I'm Scooney007. We'll see you for another exciting game in the 2008 replay with Inside Pitch. Until then, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.